Hey, dope people, it's Adam. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. I'm just playing with my camera today. I'm just trying around with some different camera angles and stuff like that, playing with things. Um, as I build this out, I took a little break there, dealing with a lot of personal pain, physical pain, most more than emotional. Still deal with emotional pain, but physical pain's been quite amazingly intense the past few days. So yeah, trying to get up and move and stuff like that's been very difficult. Do some stretches and that, but yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and especially in Alberta, trying to get the diagnostic care that I need to figure out what's going on has been a challenge. My wife and I, we don't want to do this, but we're very close to just biting the bullet and paying out of pocket to get an MRI done. That's where we're at now. I'm in a lot of pain. So when I say, and that, and not to get too dark, trigger warning here, it does bring up some very difficult mental health situations. Yeah, some very difficult mental health situations because there's doesn't seem to be ever a relief for the pain. This helps. This is this if you wanted, if you're like, oh, you'd be healthier if you stopped smoking. You're right. I'd probably be a little bit healthier if I stopped smoking, and I did. Stop smoking cigarettes. I stopped vaping completely, except for dabs. Dabs are the exception, and that is not nearly as ongoing damage as nicotine and nicotine vaping. Jury's still on whether nicotine's good or bad for you. It does stuff to you, but whether it's good or bad is irrelevant. I think it's all about dosage. I see a lot of YouTube creators just gacked out on nicotine right now, and that's insane. So yeah, maybe I'll make this video today about drugs and efficacy and inefficacy. I'm not an expert right away off the bat. I'm just a user. I'm just a user with my experiences. Um, there's a lot of people telling me what I should experience without having experienced anything themselves. That is not how drugs work, unfortunately. You need someone to actually experience it to tell you what it's like to experience it, and also what the damages and dangers are of it. You need someone to actually go through it to understand what the damages and dangers are. I'm not saying everyone that you have to do drugs to understand how to, but you need to listen to someone who has done the drugs. That's basically how it goes. So a crack addict will tell you crack is great, but unfortunately, it ruined my entire life. Right? Like that's how that works. It's like crack is awesome, but it ruins your life. Right? So you have to experience that awesomeness and that in order to understand how it can ruin your life. You just have to accept that the feeling you get on crack is so good that everything else is secondary. Right? That is what it is. That's not the feeling I get on this. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. No, there's no like crazy euphoria or anything like that. Sometimes there is. It depends on the strain, I guess. But in your the moment, if you're like open to the euphoria, if you allow yourself to be open to it, I guess it'll happen. It's on certain strains, not a heavy indica. You're not gonna maybe feel too euphoric. Maybe a little. I guess if you're a newbie. See, again, I'm not an expert. I'm not an expert on drugs. I've just done a bunch. I know I got some ADHD because when I used to do cocaine, that's when I felt my best. I was at my absolute best, but it was also ruining me at the same time. So I had to stop because the positive effect did not outweigh the negative effects. Luckily, luckily, or at least I had enough presence of mind to realize that the negative effects were quickly outweighing the positive effects. So and a lot of my issues that I wound up going to in the drugs and stuff is just trying to be accepted. This is an undiagnosed autistic guy, right? Like, never quite fit in, but you see how everyone else is fitting in, and you go for it. And you go for it. That's how a lot of autistics get into drugs and stuff like that because we feel really good. Then we're able to feel like we can connect with other people. Like that's how I feel when I'm drunk. I can connect with anybody when I'm drunk. Um, but I don't want to be drunk all the time. That's not healthy. That's not good. Alcohol is a poison. So I don't want to be drunk all the time. Um, I find I can still connect with people just fine on a bit of weed and still maintain my faculties. You know what I mean? Like I could still manage tasks and stuff like that. I'm not a, you don't lose your motor skills, that kind of thing. Your motor skills might slow down a little bit. You might be a bit slower, more deliberate. But I don't find my motor skills are much slower when I'm token. Yeah, sometimes like if I go hard, then yeah, maybe I'll just be like I'll get the body stone and stuff like that going, but that only lasts an hour or two, and then you're on your way again. And a bit rambly, but drugs, it's all about it's like anything in life, and I'm just this is like people like to shy away from tautologies, but sometimes they were like anything in excess is bad for you. Anything, anything. Water will kill you if you do take too much. And I'm talking about drowning. No, I'm talking about actually drinking. Ingesting too much water can kill you. It's a thing. Look it up. Any amount, any overindulgence on anything can be very damaging to you. Over time, in the short term, like anything can be damaging to you. Even this little bad boy here can offer some damage, and that's fine. And you got to take your own personal like accounting on what that looks like. um Again, is the crack worth it, right? Like is you try to go like, okay, well, does it impact my life in a very negative way? Well, let's see, I still pay my rent. When my body is not in rip roaring pain, I show up for work on early. I don't show up on time, I show up early. um let's see, like I still get all my tasks done, as but like when my body's behaving well, like things are on the are kept up and up at work, and all that. Is only when my body was failing did things start sliding. It's just in so much pain I couldn't even think. You can't think. It sucks. And then the medicate, like you go to the ER and then you're on like heavy painkillers and stuff like that. And like, yeah, opiates. So opiates do work. They work really, 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 really well. You just have to be careful, and you have to be careful where you're getting them from. Your family doctor shouldn't be prescribing you opiates. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. They shouldn't. That is not where you get opiates from. If you're in that much pain, go to the ER. Pure and simple. Because not because they'll just dole it out to anybody. They don't. That is why you got people waiting. That's why you have homeless people waiting in the ER for a long, long time. Basically, they're just waiting them out. They're waiting them out till they wake up and go home or go to wherever their bed is. They're looking for drugs. They are like you see them in the ER waiting room, and that's it is a part of parcel of being in a city. You probably don't see that in the smaller communities as much. But they're there. That's okay. But they're not getting the drugs. I get opiates quite on the regular, sort of. It's been consistent because I have a reaction to codeine. So codeine products, which is what you should be going after, is much safer. It has some side effects like constipation and stuff like that, but they are very effective for most people. Some people lack an enzyme, that allows you to process codeine properly. And so what happens with me if I'm on a high dose of codeine? It does nothing to the pain. I'm just fucked up. It's really aggravating, and it makes you go crazy. It made me feel I was crazy. Did not like it. It was the worst feeling I've ever had. I was still in pain, but I was drugged. It was not fun. So I had to go back, and they were like, okay, here's a low dose of morphine. And I'm like, okay. Cool. And so that helped. That worked. That did work. You did. You're like, ooh, can I get some more of that moment? But yeah, no, it is. It's effective. Um, I have digestive issues that pop off every once in a while, and again, hydromorphine is effective on the pain. It works really well. And yeah, so that is what it is. So drugs are neither good nor bad. Is how they're administered, how like the percent like being educated on drug use is very important, very important. So Dare was a failure because it didn't. It just had a bunch of rich kids telling you not to do drugs. It didn't have anybody who did the drugs telling you not to do drugs, right? Like that's kind of what Dare did. They had a bunch of rich kids and like it was just so bad. But there was another program that I took part in called Party, and that one scared the shit out of us because we did have OD someone who OD'd come and talk to us. We saw pictures. I will never forget these pictures. They haunt my vision. It was their idea of scaring kids straight, but they got rid of the program. Thank God. Uh, it's effective, but drama. It's you don't cure trauma by inducing trauma. That's just not what you do. Talking to the former drug addict stuck in a wheelchair, effective. Seeing mangled bodies and cars and stuff, not effective. Just scary, and creates not fun feelings when you're behind the wheel. And again, not that driving should be fun. Driving's responsibility, but also having a lot of anxiety around it is also not fun too. So yeah, so these boomers and their programs were ineffective. Made up by boomers, run by Gen X. Just totally ineffective stuff. Don't do it. We did it all, and it was bad. Sort of, not really. It was kind of bad. We enjoy it. We miss it. Talk to a boomer. They fucking miss the drugs. Well, now they get new ones from their doctor. So yeah, no, it was a bunch of we and like us millennial kids, we saw the hypocrisy right away. Like I talked to my parents, y'all did fucking drugs. Like, what are you talking about? You enjoyed it, you miss it. Yeah, so it's the drugs are what you make it. And yeah, like some people out there, like my good buddy, my parasocial friend, Sagar and Jetty. He hates cannabis. He hates weed. He hates when people call it cannabis as well. He calls it pot. He calls it weed. He thinks people like me are losers, which is man, to live life like that. Just to think like because of something like I think people who spend all their money on Apple tech are losers. They're idiots. I'm like Sagar and Jetty, you look like a fucking chode when you were wearing the Apple VR helmet. A total chode. Just a chode. Your wife will never like I was like, oh man, his wife is never gonna fuck him again. But you had a kid, so I assume she got over it. Fuck, man. So you get after all of us about our drugs, but you got this drug that actually like depletes resources and like for a long time I have a feeling it stopped because the world took notice, but the exploitation of labor was just insane by Apple. We all know it. Like so like calm the fuck down on your weed. Like, hey, I'm with you, bro. I want all these crooked fucking people out of the industry too, that just are here to exploit us and like get people hooked on high THC. And yes, hooked on high THC. Um, I try to be a bit more mindful about what I'm smoking. There is like again, you like this is so funny. There's regulations and restrictions in Canada. The ones that get away with it are the unrestricted market, which is an illegal market in Canada, but there's no enforcement. So I don't know what to do. Like you can we can complain about all this high THC and people getting sick and stuff like that. And you know what? I got sick a couple times from overdoing it through the legal stuff through the store. So it's not perfect even. I've readjusted and stuff like that on what I smoke and how I smoke. Like I do dabs, but I'm not smoking shatter. I'm not smoking high test um, THC stuff like the 90%. I'm actually smoking hash rosins, which is a gram sits at about 690 to 750 milligrams per gram of THC, which is average, is like on a lower, for a concentrate, is on the lower end, but not low. It's still high concentration, so you don't need much. And it's full spectrum. It's a lot. It's just it's not as concentrated and intense, and doesn't get you sick. There are some companies out there that use a lot of botanical terpenes. I am not a fan of botanical terpenes. They do make me ill. I think that is what landed me in trouble with in getting into the hospital, was because I was tracking it and I'm like, okay, each time this happens, I seem to be smoking X brand. And I'm not going to mention the brand because not everyone gets sick off of it. I don't think it's a common thing, but I do think it's something that they need to look into. If you know me, you know me. Uh, if you're curious about which brand it is, message me. I'll let you know. But I'm not gonna put in a video. I'm not gonna put them on blast or nothing like that because it's a me. Like again, it's a me problem. It's basically my body is rejecting that certain blend of stuff. I don't like botanicals. I do think it's cheating. I do. But you don't have to do that, guys. There's other options. But it's cheap, right? That's what matters. um, and yeah, it got me sick a bunch. I can't do. I won't touch their products now at all. There are certain brands I will touch. Canara Biotech. They're pretty good. I still won't do their shatters or any. I won't do shatter. It's just again, it's too high. It's just too much. I prefer a hash rosin, hash, and just rolling an old fashioned joint, just an old fashioned one. Well, not old. I don't know if it's old fashioned if you put a filter on it. I used to smoke hippie joints, which gave you the roaches. But converted to once it legalized, I realized I really like a filter tip, and why do I have to listen to my dad? So there, it yeah, drugs. Do them, don't do them. It's okay. Just don't judge people. Just don't judge people. Opiates can be abused, but opiates can also be helpful. It's neither good nor bad. Uh, Illegal ones, the fentanyl, the stuff that you find on the streets, is not what you're getting in the hospitals. It's morphed into a very different beast. Um, that the legal market as opposed to what you get in a hospital or like a veterinary hospital or something like that. Very different, but still very harmful, very very dangerous because they're cutting it with the drugs to make more money, right? Because it's the feeling that they're chasing. It's they'll do whatever they can to make that buck. So, do I think legalizing all drugs is the answer? No, no, I don't think legalizing drugs is the answer. Decriminalizing drugs, yeah, perhaps. But like making things like readily available and stuff, no. Yeah, no, none of that. But decriminalizing it, I guess decriminalizing usage, or at least being able to regulate it in such a way that someone can can detox off of it safely. You know what I mean? Like, maybe reduce dosages, stuff like that. Um, you know, it's and there's a lot of possibilities once you remove stigma, and stuff like that. But you have to remove, that's that's getting society to come on board with that drugs aren't so bad. Um, but They, like, again, they are, they aren't. Like, I'm taking a fair amount of pills right now. Some, I think one of them is not effective at all, so I want to get off of it as soon as I can. But I got to keep taking it because I got to make sure I'm taking my medications as prescribed. I got to be able to talk to my doctor. Because yeah, I need the record of that. I need to know that I'm not just like coming up with my own solutions, and I'm actually talking to a professional. um and yeah, so this, this weekend where I get to talk to a new doctor who might be a bit more inclined to help an autistic gentleman. The doctor I have, the last couple doctors have not been helpful. They don't know. This last doctor thought I was fucking bipolar, like, which is hilarious. I'm not. I, like, I have highs and lows, but they're not extreme. They're not yeah, like, it's they're not highs and, like, it was weird. Like, I've been in therapy for now almost 2 years. I've spoken to two psychiatrists, and they're just like, bipolar. I'm like, they're like, no, no, no. Because if you generally bipolar people, it's they don't go seeking out the help themselves. That's, yeah, I guess, or something like that. I don't know, but like, everyone's like, the professionals who diagnose and and treat this stuff are like, nah. Uh, and he put me on a new medication, which is helping. It's just making me very drowsy, which sucks, but it's the anxiety has gone way down, and the executive function has gone up. So, win. That's a win on the drugs. So I'm at a good dose. It makes me a bit drowsy. Like, I'm pretty drowsy right now. I know I smoke some weed and stuff like that, but it it's I've been taking naps on a bit more frequency and stuff like that. So it's hard to say what's going to go down with work and stuff like that coming up. But yeah, keep on doing what I got to do. Heat on the back as much as I can. It helps a bit, but still, it just soothes in the moment. Doesn't stop it, like, from when I get up and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all I got to say about drugs today. That some are good, some are bad. Ask your mom and ask your dad. That was the best advice that they actually did give out. Ask your mom and ask your dad. Which ones are good? Which ones are bad? What are good drugs? What are bad drugs? Right? And that story could change from household to household. Maybe you live in that really restrictive house that even aspirin's bad. Who knows? Right? It's all relative. But again, you should ask a doctor. um, Trust me, they took a lot of time to study. They couldn't be sitting with that coat in that office or whatever without having gone through at least some basic medical training. And they know, like, even if it's a crooked doctor, the doctor still knows. So some drugs are good, some drugs are bad. Ask your mom, ask your dad, or ask your uncle. Uncles are good. Uncles are good to ask about the good drugs and the bad drugs. And if you're going to do the bad drugs, ask your uncle how to plan for it. If you can't tell mom and dad, tell an uncle. They'll help. And yeah, they will throw you under the bus, but they will help you in the moment. They absolutely will. Eventually, not right away. They'll let the smoke clear and stuff like that, but yeah, they'll throw you under the bus eventually. Because you got to be an adult sometime. But yeah, it's ask your mom, dad, uncle, aunt, cool aunts. Cool aunts are great to ask about the drugs. Don't Hey, cool aunts, don't give the kids the drugs. Wait till they're 25. Wait till they're 25. Don't wait till, oh, you're 19, let's go, or you're 18, let's go. It's just maybe don't encourage it so much. Maybe not. I serve a lot of under 25 people who smoke a lot of weed, and they shouldn't. It's um yeah, like, even myself, I smoked a bit, but never Like I never smoked as much as I did now do now. I'll admit that. When I was younger, it's harder to get, for one. Or until I started selling it. It was pretty difficult to get. When I started selling it, that's when I started smoking it on regular. Um, but yeah, it's weed is neither good, neither bad. It's gotten stronger. In some cases better, some cases worse. Um, there's all kinds of different things with it that you can do. So like when people say like they want to like you can't if there's a, if the product itself, the thing itself has multiple uses, and so you can't, what are you going to do? Just like, okay, this is fine, that's not fine, this is fine, that's not fine. And it's something that people can grow in their house. So like the people who want to still make like to make weed illegal again, I guess, or like go backwards, it's not going to happen. The best you can do is encourage some restraint, encourage some better practices, discourage vapes and like high THC products. I finally kicked all that. There's a lot of waste involved with it, a lot of like it's not good. You know, I saved a year's like 6 months worth of vape cartridges, and it's a lot. I have them here, and I'm not going to show it. It's embarrassing. But I still have them there. Maybe I will show them one day, just to show kind of like the waste and like what like how just ridiculous this stuff is. Um, uh, and that like they sell well, people like it, but maybe it's not the right product. Maybe there needs to be alternatives. Maybe we need to like stop pro clutching about the smell. Maybe allowing people to smoke a joint is the better option, um, instead of trying to like hide it with like high THC vapes and things like that. Because the truth is, like those high THC vapes are much easier to mask. Botanical terpenes smell really good, that kind of thing. So, yeah, little drug talk. Um, it's I've done my fair share, not tons of drugs. I never done meth. I had enough friends who did it that I'm like, no thanks, no thank you. Meth is not not something I fuck with. Um, Nor the people who do it. Um, Meth is totally a choice. Meth is not. See, crack on the black community. There's a bit of a conspiracy around crack, where meth was just white suburbanite kids bored out of their minds. That's all that was. A lot of meth was just suburbanite white kids, who are angry or wanted to disassociate from their terrible lives. Our lives weren't that terrible. Our parents sucked, but our lives weren't that terrible. Um, it's true. Parents did suck. They did their best, which was not always great. Um, so like the meth I never fucked with. I stopped being friends with a bunch of people. One person in particular, he came around, got off it, and we're still amazing friends. So it's not that it's a deal breaker that if you've ever done meth, I won't ever talk to you. No, 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 no. You can have done meth and be recovered and be a recovered addict. That's totally okay. Um, and being a recovered addict means that you don't dwell on the fact that you once did meth. It's not a notch on the belt. It's not. The How many drugs you have done are not notches on a belt. Oh yes, oh yes, you have found your inner light, your inner truth, the truth of the universe, the truth that we all see everywhere. You're full of shit, just like anyone else. Yeah, everything's connected. Everything is there's a light within all of us. You're just a douche who dropped some acid. That's all. That's all. I did some mushrooms. I found some inner truth, some inner light. That's great. That's awesome. And I felt really good afterwards. But I didn't have to like. It wasn't that I was proving something to anybody. That's the thing. Like everyone's trying to use their inner journeys as proof of something to everyone else that they're somehow superior. You're not. Um, like I guess the only thing you can like claim is that yeah, you found the inner truth that everything's connected, that is connected. Um, so yeah. Anyways, I gotta go eat an apple. My wife works at home now, and so now I get snacks. I get snacks quite often. She takes a break, she makes me a snack, which is wonderful. It's I'm going to be eating so healthy. Hopefully, I'll be losing some weight just by her being at home, and like the fruit intake has gone way up since she started working from home, which is fantastic. Um, so yeah, which is great, especially for definitely one, an autistic and an ADHDer, um, with who always let fruits and stuff go to waste. We've gone like on a streak, like a 2 3 week streak of running out of vegetables. Like we buy the vegetables, but we ran out of vegetables and we ran out of fruit. It was amazing. We're like, we ran out of fruit. I want some more fruit. We bought blueberries this time. So, anyways, long ramble about drugs. I'm not saying do them. I'm not saying don't do them. I'm saying make sure you have no excuse anymore. This is what I'll finish up with the drugs. You have no excuse anymore not knowing. There's none. There's no excuse. Go look up drugs. Just Google it. Don't worry about your search history. Don't worry about it. Google it. Go in incognito. Go in incognito mode. Google what does it do? What are the side effects? What can I expect? Knowledge is power. Oh, knowledge is power. And if you look and you're like, oh, the side effects are like this, and this, it's not worth it. Like gentlemen, cocaine, your dick won't work. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. At some point, your dick will not work. It if you stop, it'll work again. Don't worry. But yeah, no, your dick will not work. That's why Viagra is still so very powerful because it does help counteract that. Oh, these motherfuckers in charge of everything doing so many drugs. So many drugs. They are all on drugs. Um, all of them. They're all alcoholics, drug addicts, you name it. They are into some fucking heavy, wacky shit. They got doctors with the notepads, so they don't have to go to jail for it, and they don't have, and it's all clean, and it's all good, and it's all safe. So we know full fucking well that you can have a legal drug trade and people not be dropping like flies because the people in charge, especially in the US, are all on fucking drugs, and they seem to be doing just fine. They're not in the gutter. We got to put them there, but yeah, they're not in the gutter at all. And I doubt even if the Democrats do take over eventually that they'll ever wind up being in the gutter because the Democrats have no spine and they won't hold them accountable. Period. I have no faith that the Democrats can hold the Republicans and MAGA and these fascists accountable for their crimes against humanity. Because that's what that is. I don't want to make this about any the war news. I just want to talk about drugs, because I think we're going to be needing a few drugs coming up, which is fine. It's okay. It's okay to need some drugs. Love you guys. Be safe. Have fun, and always keep it dope.